These are a couple of slides stolen from Philip Bailey, a talk that he gave for a Riverscapes Consortium Monitoring Summit in late 2019 in Logan. And the backdrop was trying to get us to adhere to some Riverscapes compliant standards and serving our data in Riverscapes warehouses. And we happen to host those warehouses on Amazon Web Services. And Amazon Web Services basically exists as a byproduct of Amazon Marketplace keeping up with Christmas. So that when you are shopping and you're uh, filling items in your shopping cart and you're making purchases, so that that doesn't get too slow when there was tons of traffic during the Christmas holidays, they built massive capacity in terms of server farms and what later got marketed as the cloud to meet the holiday rush. And they built this thing that had this enormous capacity to be used for so many more things than they ever imagined. To the point that now, even though Amazon Marketplace is massive, AWS is a way bigger part of the business. And these quotes are kind of telling. And it's not that we're looking for total world domination when it comes to understanding Riverscapes, but we certainly are looking to not be a blockbuster video store when everybody is streaming Netflix and is streaming Hulu, etc., which by the way all run on AWS platforms. Um, this is a memo that apparently was sent around in the early days of AWS, basically telling people to stop being amateurs. All teams will henceforth expose their data and functionality through service interfaces. Teams must communicate through these interfaces. There'll be no other forms of communication allowed. It doesn't matter what technology you use. All service interfaces, without exception, this is key, must be designed from the ground up to be externalizable. That is to say, the team must plan and design to be able to expose the interface to developers in the outside world. No exceptions. Anyone who doesn't do this will be fired. Thank you. Have a nice day. Well, Riverscapes Consortium doesn't have any employees. We are just a bunch of well-intended scientists trying to do better with our efforts and trying to tackle the enormous challenges that we face with degradation of riverscapes and needing to improve their health and conserve them for future generations. We keep reinventing the wheel. We're not, every time we develop a fancy new model, a fancy new analysis, something that gives us insight, we don't do it in a way that's externalizable, in a way that's scalable, in a way that's interoperable. These technologies exist. There's platforms for us to just piggyback onto, and we can do this for alarmingly cheap. But it does require an investment in the capacity to be able to do this, basically, in professionally programming things, moving stuff past the sort of amateur research grade scripts and into stuff that can really scale up, be run at large scales, serve bigger communities, and be able to use to inform management. And so that's really our pitch, in terms of a little bit of inspiration from Jeff Bezos, is that we could do well by adhering to a set of standards. And the set of standards that we propose here is not really us inventing those. It's really just following what are industry standards in the programming industry and what the climate change community got their act together and did 15, 20 years ago. And if the political lag time is as long as it's been on climate change, as it is going to be for riverscapes, we have to do this now, or we're in big trouble.